It'll probably do you a lot of good to stay single. I'd prefer if you save yourself for me.
What?
What?
What the fuck?
Hello, friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we're jumping into r/LegbeardStories. Oh my goodness, we had to get back into that unfortunate Nookie saga. You know that we were about due. I've been putting it off just a little bit because Naruto Headband makes his triumphant return today, if you couldn't tell from the thumbnail. And oh my god, I'm not really looking forward to it, but it's gonna be fine. We're gonna get through it. We might even laugh along the way. Hopefully. So let's go ahead. We'll get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive into some of this r/LegbeardStories cringe. Kind of weird we're still calling it LegbeardStories when there are no Legbeards involved anymore, right? Our Legbeard turned into a neckbeard. Anyways, this is Unfortunate Nookie Part 27. You're so nice that this was all your fault. Yeah, because I'm too nice. Which I guess could be said about Greenie, but not in the way that Naruto Headband means it, surely. Get ready to scream, no! Everyone. See, that's my Darth Vader, no. Because Naruto Headband is coming back to fix everything, just like he promised. Oh, great. Welcome back. Not safe for work warnings. Neckbeards are gross, and this story's no exception. You have been warned. Things get ridiculously heavy in this saga, and this part is one of the worst. Yes, even worse than the previous parts. So feel free to nope out whenever you need to. See, that's all I read, and I'm like, I don't really want to do it, but I guess if we just put our heads down and get through it, then we'll get through it. And then we could get to the catharsis, which is really what I'm waiting for at this point. This is gonna be brutal. I don't know if I'm ready for this today. It's whatever. Edit 2022. I've shortened this after some reconsideration, deciding that you guys get the idea that it was bad. Oh, well, there's a little bit of mercy at the very least. Yeah, we've basically been through most of the stuff that Naruto Headband has put OP through. It's just gonna be like a repeat of that. A little bit of love bombing, and then the mask comes off and he treats her like shit again, right? I'm pretty sure that's exactly how it's gonna go. Anyways, we got links. I recommend checking out the Unfortunate Nookie playlist by ReddX here, and the previous part, and the next part once that's up. That playlist link is down in the description as per usual. And of course, we have our cast. Unfortunate Nookie, our specimen, the Neckbeard. What's that? You could have sworn that this was a Legbeard saga about an overly sexual, baby-obsessed vampire cat girl otaku? Nah. You must be thinking about another saga. Yeah, we have had so many of those sexual, baby-obsessed vampire cat girl otaku sagas. I don't have enough finger and toes to count them all. Honestly, if we're doing this channel for a few more years, then that will probably be the case. But for now, yeah, it's basically just Unfortunate Nookie. But yeah, Unfortunate Nookie, definitely not a Legbeard. Unfortunate Nookie is a man. A real boy, and he has never wanted children. Duh. In fact, soon he'll be asexual. I mean, wait, he's always been asexual, but we just never knew that. I mean, it's okay to uncover new parts of yourself, but you also have to embrace the old parts. You can't just try and rewrite history and be like, nah, I've always been this way, guys. You just didn't know. Oh yeah, well, what about all those people that you banged? And he's like, nah, I don't remember any of that. Okay, whatever you say, I guess. Don't be too hung up on the past, guys. Try to keep up with how things have always been. I'm so confused.
I'm confused. I'm confused right now, G.
Also, he's been ostracized by OP, who plotted and viciously turned everyone against him and stole all of his friends. He doesn't want any drama, but why is he always in it? Oh, woe is our poor unfortunate Nookie. Yep, still not an ounce of self-reflection to be found. Like I said, maybe the last part or the part before that, same shit, different gender. Okay, you can change all that about yourself, but you still are who you are, and it's obvious to everybody. Also, to be fair, unfortunately, he's not even in this part. Oh, god damn it. But we still want to put a cast list stamp on their amazingness, of course. I mean, they are the titular character, so I guess I'll give you that one. We've also got Greenie, our OP, yeeting the trash, finally, but yeah, I've been broken in the process. And just because you throw a necky out doesn't mean that the necky is gone. Yeah, just like kids, right? I'm like, hey, get out of here, daddy's recording. And 5 minutes later, he's like, are you done yet? I'm like, no, dude. Can I have an hour to do the thing that I need to do? It's basically the only thing I have to do today. I don't mean to bring it back on myself. That's very unfortunate Nookie-esque, but we just had a child burst into the room, so it kind of resonated with me a bit more than usual. Although, maybe OP has been too harsh. That's at least still what I'm being gaslit to believe. I am still scared for my life and depressed as all hell. I have very little mental fortitude at this point in my life. I am just trying to survive. I mean, most of us are, but yeah, you got it a lot worse than most in the final episodes of Unfortunate Nookie. The one saving grace is that eventually it's all gonna be over. We'll reach that sweet, sweet finale. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. NARUTO Headband is Unfortunate Nookie's ex and currently on a break with OP. He had been put into the corner of shame to think about what he's done. And it might have worked if he was capable of thinking. He was in my DMs every day, trying to beg his way back in. He was actively bombarding an extremely vulnerable individual for his own personal gain. Wow, I'm totally shocked that that happened. That's so out of character for him. No, it's really not, though. This is exactly what I said. The love bombing. Then you open the door, then we revert back to the old ways. Please don't open the door, OP. For the sake of everybody listening, do not open the door.
Don't open the door.
I'm gonna eat your ass, boy.
Turtle was OP's friend. Hey, it's been a while since we've seen Turtle. They were there when OP's mom died, and they have a heart of gold. Buddha is my online friend for over a decade at this point in the neighboring country. Beard on the outside. Everything we wish we'd get from people who come into our lives on the inside. Yeah, Buddha's a G too. He can read people through just a text conversation. That is a skill. I wish I were even like halfway as empathetic as that dude was. And of course, our trigger warnings in the cast list too. We got abortion and suicidal thoughts. This one is painful. So thank you for being here on the ride and having more heart and empathy than my best friend and fiance at the time. You guys will never know how much your kindness and care means, friends and strangers on the internet. But do exit the story if it gets too dark, because we are really plunging into it now. Weren't we plunging before? Throw down a rope. I need a lifeline. Somebody help.
Oh my god. I'm so dizzy.
Oh no, it's gonna be fine. We're gonna get through it. As soon as the dogs stop barking, we're gonna get through it. God damn, it's a mess already. Where last we left off, OP laid a trap for Unfortunate Nookie to test if Unfortunate Nookie really was a piece of shit. And none of us were really surprised with how that went down. You're only trying to convince yourself at this point, OP. You're like, maybe one more last chance for realsies, promise swearsies this time. Yeah, it's never gonna happen. It's time to let go. Unfortunately, then demanded all of our mutual friends tell him, why did OP lose her mind for no reason? And he blocked everybody who told him what's what, because denying the truth is always an excellent tactic. You sweep it under the rug, and magically, it goes away. Yeah, that's kind of how I clean my house. My wife is like, did you move the rugs to sweep? I'm like, nah, that's where all the stuff is. I gotta go get a dustpan? I can't do it. I got a bad back and such, or something like that. No, I really do try to help out. I just think it's funnier to paint myself as a terrible person. But back to Naruto Headband. Speaking of terrible people, I don't need to paint myself. We got an actual terrible person here. After kicking Naruto Headband out and him constantly trying to convince me that he had figured out all the things he had been doing wrong towards me, within 15 minutes, 2 hours, a day of separation, without ever actually articulating what his transgressions were. But he swore that he wouldn't do those again. Those unnamed transgressions. It's been 15 minutes. That's long enough, right? Nah, bro. You gotta get out of here for good. It is over. Much like Unfortunate Nookie, there ain't no fixing this dude. You gotta throw the whole guy away and start over, right? I had no trust for him. He kept telling me, he's sorry, and explaining how caring and loving he wants to be, begging me to let him come back so he could show me. I was growing quite tired of the bullshit. Needless to say, I was also quite skeptical. Yes, we're learning, we're growing, aren't we? Naruto Headband used love bombing. It's not very effective. Good, you can develop your resistances. However, after spending a month apart from Naruto Headband, I made another massive mistake. OP, look at me in my face, OP! No, don't. But I guess hindsight's 2020. He had managed to yet again wear me down and convince me to make a deal with him. If I let him take me out on a date, and if that date goes well, we could go back to dating and try again. He swore up and down that he would never treat me wrong ever again. At least not until he's back in the house. Really, he's only got to hold it together for like a couple hours for this date, and then all of a sudden you're dating again? No, bro. I see the pattern. This is never gonna work. Unfortunately, OP did accept. He seemed to feel shame and also seemed to have learned from his wrongdoings. Do we not know at this point that it's all an act? Have we not seen this play before? You want me to spoil the ending for you? Nah, you already know the ending. God damn it. A month to think about his behavior should make something stick. Right? Guys, right? All he had been saying for weeks is how he wants to treat me right and how much he loves me. Love bombing at its finest. All he has to do is be a little bit more considerate. That's all I'm asking. And he's been telling me nonstop that he definitely can. Maybe he could give me this small thing that I had asked of Nookie, right? One last chance for the road. How badly could that go? Right? You'd think after a certain point it wouldn't frustrate me anymore. I'd just be like, yeah, OP's gonna do what she's gonna do, but it hurts every single time. Like, god damn. How could you really believe that? Like, I understand that you've been together for 7 years or whatever, but it's called the sunk cost fallacy. You've been together 7 years and it's not working out, so bail. Consider that 7 years wasted. Don't wait until year 15 before you bail, because then you will have wasted 15 years. You can't invest more time in order to recoup the time that was already wasted. That's not how it works. That's usually a fallacy related to like business strategy, but it works for relationships too, honestly. So yes, needless to say, you should run, and probably also needless to say, she doesn't. The date itself went fine, and I yet again let myself feel a tiny kindle of hope that yeah, this is the Naruto headband that I fell in love with. This is the kind of guy that I could see myself spending the rest of my life with. The mask, the fucking invisible man that was presented to you on a date, that guy does not exist. It's all a ploy. I went from extremely cautious to tentatively letting my guard down throughout the day of the date. The well-crafted facade of a nice guy when he tried his hardest to please people was something that I could love if he was real. Hindsight is 20/20, man. I can see myself getting caught off guard once, maybe even twice, but not for 7 years. At that point, I'm checking out. I can't do it anymore. The real him was, of course, about to come out again. All right, everyone, fuckle up. Shouts out to Guitar Beard OP. We are getting into the worst of it now. As soon as we got home after the date, it was just me and him again, and he raped me. That is when you leave again, right? He's like, phew, the date went well. Now I can throw this mask in the trash forever. God damn it, dude. Don't let it go any farther than that. I mean, that's already letting it go pretty far, but now is the time that you just run. New city, new country, just it's time to go. When sleeping in the same bed, he started to go where my terror-stiff body knew it was going. I pushed against him and told him to stop. Of course, it probably surprises no one that he apparently did not hear me or feel me resisting. The more I fought back, the more force he applied, and the more it hurt. It was like he was deaf. He was so intent on getting what he wanted. He raped me without protection, by the way. God damn, OP. This really does make me feel the worst. You were almost out, and you pulled him back in, and I don't know, man. This is a hard one to stomach, especially because you were done. It was over. And he fucking weaseled his way back in. Oh, man. So, as always, to spare myself at least some suffering, I just went limp and my mind shut down and I went somewhere far, far away. To my happy place. This wasn't me. I wasn't here. I was watching some really screwed up porno, and this was something that was happening to somebody else, right? I don't know, man. Whatever you gotta tell yourself to make it through the day, I guess. God. I'm sad for OP. I'm enraged at Naruto Headband. I just want this to be over now. I knew what we were getting into today, and honestly, with all the stuff that's going on in my personal life, like, this is a really hard one to get into today. I told myself that I could handle it, but I honestly don't know if I can handle it. I do feel like a couple of tears welling up, but I'm trying to push it back down because this is probably not even the worst that it's gonna get, honestly. So my mind came back to reality in so much shame and pain and defeat, and I was alone. I was convinced that there was no escape. I had tried leaving so many times just to end up here again. Mr. Porn Star was back to playing video games and chewing on his toenails. Disgusting troll. I couldn't live like this. I just wanted to die. I'd stare at our balcony, on the verge of jumping. He gamed on behind me, solid snake in it, eh. So, playing his bazillionth playthrough of Metal Gear Solid, when he didn't need to dip Shreddy in a hole, I was invisible. Shreddy. Remember? Because he ripped off his own foreskin. Oh, that kind of pulled me out of the depressive hole. Now I'm in the gross hole. I guess I know which one I prefer. Oh, this is just so horrible. It really is the worst part. I feel so bad. I wanted to believe more than anything that it was over. But the ride never ends. I didn't have it in me to fake joy anymore. My depression annoyed Naruto Headband, and he asked me to start being more like Unfortunate Nookie. This threw me for a loop. After all these years, suddenly being like the whack job that I threw out of my life was desirable? I can't even recall what qualities of Nookie I was supposed to have. Really? Really? The person that he had used for 7 years as an example of what not to be was now his patron saint of great behavior. I lost it. I tried to explain to him how much Nookie had hurt me and why I can't be and will never be like them. How Nookie copying me screwed with my head and how much my current state had to do with Unfortunate Nookie and his behavior towards me. Naruto Headband became enraged. Yep, that's the line. Here we go again. Why don't you just stab him in the neck with a kitchen knife while he's sitting there playing Metal Gear Solid? I don't know how I could resist. Naruto Headband thinks he's the only one that gets to pull knives on people. Just punch it right through his jugular and be like, now that's funny. That's a good joke. Stop bleeding on my carpet. Get outside. Go lay down in the dumpster where you fucking belong. The sadness has now morphed into rage, if you couldn't tell. It all comes in waves, doesn't it? Naruto Headband. Oh my god! I don't know which I'm gonna kill first. You or her! Naruto Headband did not accept or respect Unfortunate Nookie's new gender identity. And that's the point where you pull the knife out and you go, bring it on, fucko. I've been waiting for this day. Let's do this right goddamn now! And then, you either win and he's dead, or you lose and you're dead. And either way, you escape the situation. If this is really like the last resort, I would be exceedingly tempted if it didn't mean a life sentence in jail. Honestly, if the jury had to sit down and read this whole saga, there's nobody that would convict you. They'd be like, yeah, she did it, but she's innocent, right? We can all agree on that. So I just shut up and stared into oblivion, dreaming of sweet release from the hellscape that was now my life. My dogs were close by and whimpering. They knew something was wrong. I absent-mindedly petted them, still stuck in my own head. They tried to lick away the thick layer of depression and inject joy into me with their stinky drool, but I was already so far gone. I just wanted to die. Knife fight, knife fight, knife fight, knife fight, knife fight, knife fight, knife fight. Come on, knife fight.
Which among us?
This is gonna end one way or the other. I mean, there's nobody that doesn't get cut in a knife fight. You might both end up dead. It's probably not the way you want to go. The joke is probably way too dark anyways. I just like the thought of Naruto Headband with a punctured aorta bleeding out on the floor and flailing around. It makes me feel real good and happy inside. Forgive me, Jesus, but it's the truth. I'll ask forgiveness for it later. So, fuckle up once again. Let's take a puppy break. in a in a grocery cart. Can you do that? I think this is like a PetSmart or something like that. So it's acceptable. God damn, that's a lot of dogs too. What you got in there? 5, 6, 7, 8, something like that. Everybody's like, oh my God, bunch of dogs in the shopping cart. Where's Mama? What happened? They're coming through for their shots or something like that. That does feel good. Look how happy everybody is to see them. Oh, dogs, you are just magical. Everybody loves you. Everybody loves you. Yes, give kiss. Puppy breath smell nice. Grown-up dog drool stanky. But I still let my dogs lick my hands and shit. Technically, it is bad dog manners. But yeah, now this is just a crowd of people. No more puppies. So it's over. Bye. Ah, those be some good puppers. Ah, thanks for that. That is a good call, Greenie. I think we needed that to reset the compass a little bit. I should probably do that at the end of some of the more enraging videos. All right, now let's take the plunge again. You have puppers? You good? You're not mad anymore? All right, let's get mad again. Okay, if you say so. Deep breath. We are soon over the worst of this saga, and then it's all uphill. This is the second last big ouchie in the saga. Second to last. So this and one more, and then it's over. It's over. All right. Okay, it's fine. I'm good. Everything was thrown into fifth gear when it turned out that I was pregnant. Oh no!
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
That's when we should have saved the no for beardy rape baby. Oh, is abortion legal in your country? It's illegal in the Philippines. I hope it's legal in your country. As far as I know, Greenie doesn't have a kid, but if you're walking around with Naruto Headband's kid, like, I can't imagine the amount of vitriol that you might feel towards that child. I mean, it is half you, so you love the half that is you, but then you see a part that reminds you of Naruto Headband, and you're like, God, I would drown you in the bathtub. This saga is making me have some pretty dark thoughts, man. All right. So after 7 years of fighting him about protection with varying amounts of success, we were finally at the dreaded end result of him forcing his self-circumcised junk into me. Ugh. I knew I couldn't keep it. I had been planning on killing myself for months by that point. I concluded that even if I lived to deliver the baby, which I seriously doubted I would with how bad I was doing mentally, it just wouldn't be fair for them to be raised without a mother. And with Naruto Headband for a father. Oh, fuck no. That was just not happening. I hated the idea of aborting it. I could hear people calling me a murderer, and I felt like one in the moment, too. I honestly didn't know that I had room for even more self-loathing and shame in me, but I could see no reason to keep this child. None. I would kill it now, or it would simply just die with me later. There was no way that this was happening. No matter how much it hurt, Naruto Headband forced my hand in making this decision. I thought the death of my mother hurt, but this pain was a whole new level of agony that I didn't even know a person could experience. But in the circumstances that I found myself in, it was the only option. Oh, Naruto Headband was in on the abortion plan. I was hoping that he'd be like, no, you have to keep it. And then you go get the abortion anyways. And you're like, look, this is how much I don't want to be with you. I killed your spawn. Honestly, I've never had to experience anything like this. And I don't really have strong opinions on it either, because, I mean, I'm a dude. It's basically up to the woman. You know what I'm saying? I will abstain with my vote. As far as my wife goes, she's very anti-abortion. That probably has something to do with growing up in a heavily Catholic country, you know. But then again, my initial pro-abortion stance basically is just from growing up in California anyways. So I'm glad that you were able to get it done once you decided to get it done, Greenie. And I'm also glad that you did feel a certain type of way about it. Not because I want you to feel guilty or anything like that, but it is taking a life. And if you felt nothing doing that, then yeah, something might be severely wrong. But you did see the entire situation for what it was, weighed the pros and cons, and made your choice. And I think it was the right choice. It's either do this now and feel bad about it, or be shackled to Naruto headband for life and feel even worse forever without end. And no, in the next paragraph, hey, Naruto headband said he did want to keep it, so great. Crush his hopes and dreams. Your DNA's worthless and I don't want it. That's beautiful. I let Naruto headband know that I was pregnant and that I wanted to terminate. He tried to persuade me into keeping it. I think he had hoped that getting me pregnant would force me to stay. He's stupid. He didn't know that dogs had nipples and thought that they were ticks, compared fridges to black holes, thought that everyone on the planet was straight, etc. I can't even touch on that. I don't know where to start with any of that. So I don't know for sure if this was planned or not, but it was eerily well timed. Make of that what you will, planned or not planned. I said I can't, and I won't do this. He still tried to persuade me, even so. He was so in love with the idea of raising a child. Bruh, video games are gonna go out the window. It's... It is so accurate that Greeny's like, he loves the idea. He would be a terrible father. He'd be like, why are you crying all the time? I'm trying to play Monster Hunter. Baby doesn't care. Baby hungry right now. And OP could not, for the life of her, understand why he was so in love with this idea. He was a fucking man baby who cried about cleaning or me farting. I could not imagine him changing a diaper or waking up to care for a crying baby. He wouldn't do any of that. He would leave all of that to you. I'm positive that's exactly how it would go. He had no realistic idea what it is like to raise children. And I had failed to raise this man baby in front of me, and I had no confidence that I would do any better with a real one. Well, you see, you get to start fresh with the real one, but that still doesn't make it easy. Now my son has like all of my idiosyncrasies. He wakes up, wants to play video games immediately, starts losing in the video game, and he's like, "Oh, motherfucker!" I'm like, Jesus, don't say that. Please stop saying that. We're gonna send him to school. We're gonna have a talk with the teacher real quick, I'm pretty sure. Bobby messed up his finger painting and said, "Oh shit." Now the other kids are saying, "Oh shit." Oh shit. How did that happen?
Good afternoon, boys and girls. Shut the f***
The Naruto headband refused to accept my decision. He kept on arguing about it. I started to scream and cry until he got scared of me, caved, and said, "Fine, you can murder our baby." Bro, it's not up to you. I have always left this decision up to the person that I was with at the time. Now, of course, I knew that he was trying to manipulate me, but that line still cut me really deep. It hit me right in my own self-loathing and fears. I was so low. He followed me to the clinic in utter silence. He didn't insult me, but he definitely didn't comfort me either in one of the hardest things that I have ever done. I am so proud that, Greenie realizes the gravity of the situation here. So many people joke about it and throw it around like it's no big deal, but yeah, I'm pretty sure if you go through it, it is gonna hurt. And honestly, on some level, it should. It's a huge decision. You are preventing a life from coming into this world, which, you know, no judgment from me, but essentially it is what it is. If I had one of Naruto headbands spawn inside of me, you better believe I'll throw myself down the stairs right quick. I'm gonna get it out of me in any way possible. Is that joke tasteless? It's probably a little tasteless. I don't know. I'm just trying to inject some levity. It's heavy, man. Instead, Naruto Headband kept a careful watch on me to make sure that I wouldn't say anything that he didn't approve of to outsiders. As I went in to explain that I needed an abortion, the male doctor that I happened to be assigned to looked at me like I was disgusting. Then why in the fucking hell are you working in an abortion clinic? What?
You should have been more smart about this if you didn't want this to happen to you. There were so many ways to prevent this, young lady. Shame on you.
Shame on you for passing judgment. What the hell is that? How could you not, like, just stand up and bite that dude's nose off in the moment? Sure, he doesn't know the whole story, but that's just it. He doesn't know the whole story, so don't you fucking judge me. Ugh. My abortion was the first time that I ever saw a gynecologist. Really? What? You should be getting regular checkups, I'm pretty sure. The experience was traumatic, and I can't help but flash back to all of the abuse that led me to that first visit. I always shake and hyperventilate and cry whenever I need to see one. I have to apologize to doctors and nurses and tell them that it isn't their fault. Back then, after what that male doctor said to me and how another nurse gave me snide remarks on how she hated that she was legally obligated to assist me with what was a self-inflicted issue, it just broke an already beaten me. She made it very clear how little she thought of scum like me, and it is a pain and a fear that I carry to this very day. What the hell is going on here? I've never wanted to bomb an abortion clinic before. But all of a sudden, I have a mighty need. And it's not, you know, because people are getting abortions in there. It's because these doctors and nurses are treating women that need help like shit when they don't know the whole story. How dare they? Where is the humanity? God damn it, dude. Only one nurse showed me empathy and treated me like a person, and I broke down. Kindness in my life had become so rare that I didn't know what to do with it. And I still didn't dare say anything about why I needed an abortion because my rapist was standing in the hallway, listening. He had threatened to kill me before the clinic, you know, just to motivate me to behave. Oh, God. Can we make sure that Naruto Headband's in there when I bomb it? Please. I was scared. My body still hurt from what had been done to me, and I knew that he would not hesitate to do even worse. So to the medical staff, I was just another stupid frat girl who had regrets. When I left the room, he'd beam those perfect, sad, apologetic smiles at the nurses and doctors. Like, he's sorry I misbehaved, and that's why we're here. Like he wasn't a fucking part of this. A tiny piece of me was so mad. Hold on to that tiny piece. That is the only piece of you that is correct in this moment. You need to burn him to the goddamn ground! You should have snuck him while he's playing Metal Gear Solid. Just come up behind him, boop, couple minutes later, silence in darkness forever, throw him in the forever box. It's done. You might have to do a little bit of time, but I mean, there is ample evidence for like a battered wife syndrome defense or something like that, right? So while that tiny correct part of OP was mad, the rest of her was emaciated, depressed, delirious, with emotional and physical pain. What these medical professionals said to me hammered into me the feeling that I had earned all this suffering that I was going through, that this was justified, my fault, and I deserved even worse. I had nothing left in me to fight back with. Not fight Naruto Headband, not fight my own self-hatred. I was just running on fumes. The abortion itself was painful, but could be done at home. Home abortion? Oh, no, no, no. I thought that's the reason you were at the clinic, to have them do a... What the hell is going on here? Is that a thing? In the current years, that can't be a thing. OP says it's a thing. Jesus. Naruto Headband was busy on Monster Hunter. Oh, God. And so he did none of the supervision that the doctor said I required, you know, in case there were complications. I went outside because I couldn't bear to go through the process in the same bedroom where this entire shit show had begun. Buddha was online and with me through the process, long distance, ready to dial the local 911 if I stopped responding to him due to passing out. I puked and I bled, but I did make it through. Oh, God, dude. There's been so much cringe on this channel, but this is some of the saddest cringe that I've had in years. Not since Weezybeard or Bootbeard have I been this invested in an OP and wanted to see everything turn out for them all right, and sitting here absorbing all this bullshit. It makes me tear up a little bit, you know? I just feel so bad for you, OP. I want it to be over now, too. God. I gotta, like, laugh through my crying because I don't even know how to process this emotion. Jesus. I'm so confused, too, man. It's gonna be over soon. This is one of the last hills that we have to go over. Greenie said. So, wipe those tears, dry your eyes. Everything's gonna be okay. I had this narrative. I was convinced that my life was over and that I needed to die. I had killed my mother, my child, and driven away a friend. I was worthless. I was the piece of shit that couldn't do anything right. Oh, now you're lifting Unfortunate Nookie's lines. Don't do that. Who's turning into who here? Naruto Headband didn't know what to do with me and just ignored me. He couldn't force me to fake happiness for him, and he couldn't make me have sex with him because I was defective. Buddha was trying his damnedest to keep me going and suggested taking a mini vacation to his place. Naruto Headband didn't feel that he was able to object this time. He did feel guilty about my abortion, but did he feel guilty for hurting me? Or because he lost his dream of a supposedly beautiful baby? If it's his baby, it's not gonna be beautiful. I guarantee you that. Rosemary's baby. Fucking demon spawn. Plus, I was not bangable due to the abortion, so Buddha couldn't stick it in me. He wasn't a threat to Naruto Headband's property, so off I flew. Yes, get away. Get away and never come back. Just find a job there. Buddha's a good guy. He'll let you stay for a bit, get you good and settled, and you don't ever need to come back. What is the reason for going back? During that week, Buddha taught me what a comfortable silence is. Oh, and it is such a beautiful thing. I had never experienced those in my life. He showed me around his city. It was a fun week of tourism, despite me feeling quite disgusting. I thought everyone who passed by me could see that I had an abortion and hated me. I had so many panic attacks and breakdowns. Being outside was terrifying. Plus, I was still, physically healing from the procedure. I cried seemingly all the time, but I also found some joy, some peace, and a new perspective that life really isn't as good as it gets with Naruto Headband. Part of me knew that the right way of thinking was all lies. But experiencing that for myself made that truth palpable. Buddha was patience itself with me. And that is why he earned the name Buddha. I'm so glad. I'm so glad we get these little interludes between the horrible shit, you know? The rapey return of Naruto Headband. I felt the tears coming. Once we got to like the end of the abortion and Naruto Headband's not even helping at all. He's just sitting there playing Monster Hunter. Like, I can't imagine that. My wife is having a difficult pregnancy and like, I help her down the stairs. I wish that I could pick her up and carry her everywhere she needs to go. How could you be so heartless and just be like, I don't know, you figure it out. They gave you the kit, right? Try not to die and bleed out. Like, he's a monster. We knew that he was a monster already, but putting it in such terms, I can't, man. It really made me tear up. At one point during that week, I asked for a hug, which Buddha supplied, but it triggered a panic attack as well. Every single claustro hug where Naruto Headband refused to release me and just applied more pressure if I wasn't in agreement with him. Every abuse of power and moment that I couldn't physically escape him when Naruto Headband overpowered me flooded back. Buddha could feel me tensing up in his arms. "Everything okay?" he asked. Terrified of saying no, I still defied the terror and whispered, "No." Immediately, Buddha removed himself from me. I was in disbelief. Was it really this easy to get someone to just stop touching you? What wizardry is this? A simple spell, but quite unbreakable. He asked from a meter away from me, "What do you need?" After a moment of thinking, though, my mind was screaming. I went, "Just give me a moment." He looked at me with concern and focus, like he was not only listening to what I said and how I said it, but also hearing what I left unsaid. What did my entire body tell him about my status? "Okay," he said carefully. "I'll be over by my computer on the other end of the room watching YouTube videos. If there's anything you need, just let me know." Did this man actually just respect my wishes without a single argument about how crazy I am or how difficult my reasoning is to follow? Unbelievable. This hasn't happened for years. I took my guest bed blanket and bundled up into it in a fetal position and began to shake and cry, letting the panic attack wrecking me pass. Christ, that is some heavy stuff, man. I feel so bad, OP. I mean, now you're finally getting the kindness that you deserve, but you're just so shocked by it. It's like a shelter dog or something like that. A dog who has just had the shit kicked out of it. And then you give it food and it's like, are you trying to trick me right now? And it's like, no, dude, it's meat. You like meat, right? Come and have some meat. And then he eats it real slowly, like, please don't kick me in the head while I eat this. It's like, no, dude, just enjoy. And slowly, after you feed him 10 times, finally he does start to enjoy it, get the message that you're not actually here to trick and abuse him. Bless Buddha, man. I knew he was a cool dude from like the previous parts, but this sent him over the top for me. One of the main protagonists of the Unfortunate Nookie series, for sure. After a while, the panic attack was over, and I wondered what would make me feel better. I kept the blanket and waddled in it over to Buddha. He gave me a look. "Hi, wanna watch YouTubes?" I nodded, and he made some space on the sofa that he had for his computer chair. "Blankets are the best," he said, and smiled at me. I laughed, feeling embarrassed. "I need it," I tried to explain. This would have never been enough of an explanation for Naruto Headband. It would have just pissed him off as a dumb reply. "I get it," Buddha went, and we watched YouTubes in a comfortable silence. God damn, dude, I want to give Buddha a hug now. That is so beautiful. Please say that you never went back, that you found a job, stayed in Buddha's house for a little bit longer than expected, and just decided to settle down as next door neighbors or something. Wouldn't that be the happiest ending? Naruto Headband wondering where you went and such. Good. Fuck him. Let him hang out to dry. Unfortunately, OP does go back, inevitably. The week came to a close, and indeed I flew back. I was still really bad. In fact, the contrast between the safety that I felt with Buddha versus the constant fear of the latest mental or physical abuse from Naruto Headband was choking me on the way back home. He was still treating me like I didn't even exist. And if we did talk, he'd say that I'm stupid for being upset at whatever upset me. He tried to get me to admit that I cheated on him with Buddha. I said that I physically could not, which shut him down, only for a moment, until he had to throw in some bullshit comment about how my post-abortion pains can't be that bad, that I was overreacting. I'd blow up at him and say, that's really cruel to say that my problems are stupid.
I didn't mean it like that,
he'd say. Yes, you got him on the ropes. Keep punching, OP. Punch until he stops moving.
But come on, you gotta admit, it's a really thing to be upset over.
Punch him. God, I want to see him get brutalized so hard. I would pay good money, not even Tendy coin money, like real money. I'll PayPal you right now if you send me a video of Naruto Headband getting pounded into the pavement. I would take more and more walks outside so he wouldn't yell at me that
he wants to kill me,
or demand that I admit
I cheated on him.
When stuff like this ended up inevitably making me lose my shit. Then he had a medieval camp coming up. I begged him not to go. Even worse than him was being alone with my plans to end it all, or so I thought back then. He had imprinted the idea of being alone to be worse than death. And unfortunate Nookie had also enforced that idea. OP, please stay. I know I'm no fun to be around right now, but I really am suicidal. I think about it all the time. Please stay with me. I don't want to be dramatic, but I honestly don't know if I'll be here when you get back if you leave me now. I'm sorry. Naruto Headband was not looking me in the eyes as usual. I had really grown to hate his backside. Plunge a knife into it. I really am like the devil on Greenie's shoulder.
Sorry, I can't. I need to go help the guys make extra gear for the event. Just call Turtle or something if you feel bad, okay?
Without giving me a chance to protest, he ran away from me to make absolutely necessary and vital extra stuff, whatever the hell that is. And he didn't answer his phone even once during the entire weekend. He sent me one long text telling me how amazing the event was, though. Buddha kept texting and, if I needed it, calling me in order to pull me through that weekend. Buddha, MVP. I don't know why you with Naruto Headband. He trash. We realized that not too long ago. After one date, he's doing all this again. It's a fucking loop-de-loop. This is crazy. I'm over being frustrated. Now I'm gonna get angry at everybody. I decided that this weekend, this is it. I've had enough time alone to really think on my own that, what the fuck is this? This isn't a relationship. This isn't healthy or sane, and I am goddamn miserable. All I do is think about how I want to die. That's it. I'm done with him too. Aren't I? I was also terrified of him. It's okay to be scared. That means that it's time to run. Nothing that he can possibly do to you while you're running away is as bad as sitting there and living every single day for the rest of your life in agony, right? So Naruto Headband comes back on Sunday and I go meet him at his family's house. I had decided to break up with him. He is in the backyard telling his mom and younger brother
how awesome he was at the event.
Yeah, I'm sure they're pretending to care. Nobody believes you. Nobody likes you, Naruto Headband. The only time anybody listens to the bullshit that you have to say is when you're essentially holding them captive, right? So I'm making my way towards them, wondering how and when to tell him that it is over. He sees me and smiles and throws his hands up.
Honey, I'm home.
Call me honey. I don't even know who you are. You sure you don't want to beat or rape me? Oh wait, your mom is here. Surely we have to put on a good boy hat for her, right? Scumbag. To be fair, his mom is pretty scummy too, from what I can recall, but he at least has to pretend that he's not an abusive rapist. At least for now. I just stood there. I know what he wants, but I'm here to break up with him. I do not want to hug him. Should I just blurt it out in front of his family and run away? Can I do that? You can. You should. This man had admitted to wanting to hurt me. This man had raped me. This man had beat me. Threatening to kill me had become a regular thing, and I was frozen with fear. What do I do now? Say it. Just say it and run. Yeah, that's my advice. Drop a bomb and get the hell out of there. Naruto Headband began to frown and angrily yelled, "Hello!" Like a well-trained dog, I gingerly walked up to him and gave him a hug. Oh, Pete! Where's your spoon? What happened to you? We were so close to escaping, dude. So fucking close. And now we're just back in it. We're just back in it, and I guess everybody's okay with this? Make it stop, please. All was forgiven as far as Naruto Headband was concerned. We went home, and he literally spent hours telling me how amazing the weekend was for him. I kept interrupting his monologue of awesomeness with my irritating questions. OP, why didn't you answer your phone? I called you many times. Naruto Headband.
Huh? Oh, that was just because it was a medieval event. I didn't want to ruin the immersion.
While also explaining to me how they listened to the radio and snapped photos on their smartphones and played on fucking Game Boys. He eventually hugged me under the stars like this was some super romantic thing and told me
how much he loved me
for listening to his bullshit nonstop. OP, but I told you that I really needed you. Why wouldn't you answer me when I called, when I texted? I told you how bad I was before you left. I begged you not to go. Why did you leave me? What if I wasn't here anymore when you came back? Naruto Headband.
Don't be so melodramatic. You are here, aren't you? If you had killed yourself, that would have been your fault. And I would have been so angry that I wouldn't even come to your stupid funeral. Anyways, the war we had on Saturday was epic.
God damn it, dude. Can we not? Are we still not completely in favor of stabbing him? Just wait till he goes to sleep. 9 or 10 quick holes in the torso and some screaming and it's all over. Forever. If only it were so easy. I felt nothing. In his arms, under the stars, his love meant nothing to me anymore. Somehow the romance of that moment, coupled with how dead I felt inside, cemented it for me. Me and him were nothing but appearances, and a fucked up, rotten core. Finally, I told him, we're done. I'm breaking up with him. Naruto Headband took it calmly, as if he had been expecting it, but of course, he also had a lot to say about it too. You don't even have to listen, honestly. You just walk away at that point. Whatever you have to say, it doesn't matter. We're done. You don't get to tell me how to feel, anymore. Naruto Headband.
Of course you want to break up. I understand. It's okay. I'll let you go. It'll probably do you some good to be alone after me. I don't think you'll find anyone like me.
Yeah, that's the idea. Fuck stick.
You must be traumatized by everything I've done. I know some nice boys from the medieval event. I could hook you up if you want to date a really nice boy, even though they aren't as handsome as me.
All right, turn it down a little bit. Nobody's buying this shit. Who told you you're handsome? Your mom?
You might be ready for a new relationship after a long time. It'll probably do you a lot of good to stay single. I'd prefer if you save yourself for me.
What? What?
What the fuck?
I'm sure you'll come back to me once you calm down. I'll be here waiting when you're better, 'cause you're really no fun like this. I mean, you have to admit it, OP. This is kind of your fault for being too nice and letting me do this to you.
I got a length of piano wire in my pocket. You could just wrap it around his neck and give it a little pull, and you'd feel a whole lot better. It's your fault for being too nice and letting me do this to you. So you know that you're full of shit. You know that you are a human trash fire, don't you? So if you know all of that, then just know that OP ain't never coming back. Right? OP, say that you ain't never coming back. Please, for God's sake. I gave him a rare. Are you fucking kidding me? Look. Naruto Headband looked apologetic and smiled.
You know I'm right. If you weren't so incredibly kind and forgiving, none of this would have ever happened.
He softly touched my cheek in a loving manner that ended up making my skin crawl.
You know that this is your fault.
I said nothing, but the rage was rising underneath the fear. There it is. Here it comes. Let it bubble. That's what we need to get through this. Some unadulterated, 100% pure Colombian raging bull. Next part, we divide our things, and I try to help Unfortunate Nookie because it would have helped me too, but that goes completely tits up, obviously. And Naruto Headband, of course, continues to take no for a no, because I still didn't understand the beauty of the block function. Remember, laughter is the music of the soul. If you can laugh at it, you can get over it. Also, aim to shower daily, because it's good for you. Greenie, out. It has been a long time since we had a tale that made tears actually fall from my face. There was Bootbeard, there was Wheezybeard, there was also the 10K subscriber special, but that was more like grateful, happy, I want to yell it from a mountaintop type of tears. These are the sad tears on par with Wheezy and Bootbeard. So yeah, 4 times I've cried on the channel. I'm not surprised that Unfortunate Nookie got added to the list, honestly, because this definitely was the heaviest part, the lowest low. I'm so sorry that you had to go through it for as long as you did, and I'm so grateful that you didn't let this smash your optimism. Greenie's still such a nice person, willing to talk to everybody in the Discord. She does utilize the block function a little better after a bit of encouragement. That encouragement in the form of stories where I block people because I think that it's funny. I don't even need a reason to block you, honestly. People on Twitter like, hey, block me if you don't agree with this. And I'm like, okay, you asked for it. They don't think I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. Same thing on Discord. People send me too many DMs. My DMs are open, but that doesn't mean, you know, I want to sit down and converse all the time. So I get like giant walls of text, 3 or 4 in a row, and then the person's like, hey, sorry for spamming, block me if you want. And yeah, I don't even reply, I just block them. And that's funny to me. It's obvious that you knew you were overstepping the bounds, right? I like to interact with people. I keep my DMs open as a courtesy because I want to be reachable, but don't abuse the privilege. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm glad that Greenie is finding her own fine balance, not necessarily as cynical as I am, but definitely not as open and forgiving as she once was, which is a good thing because there are people like Naruto Headband and Unfortunate Nookie out there that will end up taking advantage of it. What an episode, man. I do hope that you guys enjoyed it, at least on some level. I hope that you like, comment, and or subscribe. If you did enjoy it, maybe share it around. Probably not this one. There's probably better episodes that you can share around. This one is throwing people into the deep end like way too quickly if they've never watched a ReddX video before. We've also got all kinds of links in the description, plugs, playlists, podcasts. Hey, choose your poison. We've also got my social medias, Twitter, Discord, Facebook. Come on through, say hello. I'd appreciate it. We've also got my Patreon and my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons. I would like to thank them as I do every video, so thank you. Broken Logic, Darth Dominus, the Degenerate, Robert Waits, Camille Sarah, Jarhead Jerry, Oorah, he's eating crayons because Tom stole all my tendies. It's a good substitute. Logan Wolf, Conrad Indy, and Wire Jerry. All I want for Christmas is you. Hey, Mr. ReddX, sir. Landlord Jerry sent some goons after me. Now I'm on the run. Send help and tendies, mostly tendies. I'm hungry. Captain Clown Jerry, Hong Kong, Destiny Piper, Aaron Jerry, Twisted Child, Sarah Otto Ash, Cinnamon Susie, for all lang side. Irary isn't that happy. She just unemployed. I hope you get that fixed sooner than later. Silent Revolver, the original Jerry, Jerry, son of Jersey Jerryville, my Jerry Junkie. What the? Jerryville Gym Junkies. Yeah, I got it. Jerry Satori, 211 Jerry, the Fellowship of Jerry, a Jerry, a Jubilee Juggler Jerry's a Justy Jargonia Jerry, got it. Alunia Demonista, Anunnaki, Assassin Pug Jerry, Bang Bang, Aurora Wildheart, Grizzly, Baby Jerry, Bailey Jerry, yeah, why not? Bearded Jerry, Mitch Barrett, Blade the Hero, Blip Blip Jerry, Catholic Jerry, Commander J Tank, Confederate Jew, going to the Ukraine. Good luck. That is Dayton, Dinosaur Nightlight, Disposable Waifu, Dr. Larks, Emergent Jewel, Frozen Over Studios, Fire Drake, Gypsy, Hey Dream BR, I can't help falling in love with Jerry. I'm Slim Jerry, yes, I'm the real Jerry, all you other Slim Jerry's are just imitating. Irish pirate, tell them hard into ya. Irradiated Jam, Itchy Nuts, a pimp named J Chris, JM Coon, Jerry Blacktail, Jerry Nice, Jerry Evil, Jerry Outlaw Mother Trucker, Hong Kong, Jerry's a race driver, around three's a failure, I had the NOS button and a bunch of Jerry bears fell out of my tailpipe. It does happen, be careful. Jarek's Buick Riviera, John Hero, John Jerry, Jingleheimer Schmidt, hey, that's my name too, KJW, Kajow, Crewhee, Landlord Jerry, by an ironic twist of fate, broke my own knees, but it's still time to pay rent. Oh, the lore's getting so deep. Legitimate Girth, welcome my friend, Miss Monday, Lord Jerio, like and subscribe. Lady Dix, Belgarth the Destroyer, Metal Effecta, his stock portfolio is diversified in candy coins and marbles. Ah, hell yeah. Give me all your money, I know what to do with it. Needless King 89, Nightmare Jerry, oh no, Origami Jerry Steve, hit Jerry with a bag of marbles, after he kind of cheating with Tom. Oh, that's why he's Origami Steve now, not Origami Jerry Steve. I see what's going on, it's divorce, it's so sad. Paragon Soul, Phantom of the Pines, Jerrykins and Jerry Beth, Ramtide Lacromates, Rose, Jerry Miller, TSM Kirby, Sarita the Lolita, Sassy Octopus, Silo Imp, Staples, aka Jerry Yeet, Stephanie Goodner, Synaptic Boomstick, Brilliant Tomato, Tapioca Baloo, Tato Ferret, Teddy the Police, Tenton Monster, the Italian Greyhound, Dino, I'm pretty sure it's Dino, the Littlest Who, the Token Trans Queen Jerry, these Jerry Berries taste like Jerry Berries. The more time between readings means that Marble Jerry is stuck in perpetual purgatory, unable to scream any longer. I'm sorry, I'm doing the best I can. I just want to keep it interesting. The one Trufusky, trying to find a marble to get back to the real world. You probably don't want to blow into that balloon knot. Inflate my colon. God damn it. Unbusy Bee, V3 Prime, Viking Jerry, Wikitack, Will Mags, Zephyr the Gargoyle, or just Clay, that's fine too. Welcome to the fold, Clay. Comrade Mooney, Kira, not another Jerry, but he is kinda though. Redwood, Knock Viper, Side Jerry the Cyborg, Saints Blessing, One Like Jerry gives ReddX all the penny coins in the world. And they still ain't worth a whole lot, but that's okay, we're gonna change that. A normal Jerry, Mr. Hollyberry, we need more funding. Everyone wants Jerry Berries to gross out their peers and prank their friends. We're working on it. Production is lacking behind at the moment. The economy's not looking too great. Hunter of Jerry's Devour of all things tasty. It is Tom, Admiral T-Tank, Emera, another stupid hipster, Atomic Jerryzilla, Babs Goon, Bartender Kelia, Blue Dubs, Broken Spine Horseradish, Cake Jerry, the original different Jerry, California Jerry Girl, Chevron 7 Lock, Corporal Admiral Princess Furry Warrior Woo Jerry, Crypt Titties, Dayton does, but he needs our help. Come on, Jerry, buddy. Clap your hands if you believe. I believe. Defawn Jerry, creator of colorful click clacks, Dopamine Dane Jarius, Electrical Fennec, Ghost of Alpha, Hair Devil Terry. I'm sorry, I'm such a piece of shit. Eeknot, Holy Berry Jerry, Hydra Jerry Solomon, Janitor Jerry, some guy in the van came and took the marbles. I think his name was Jerry. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Jeffrey, Gerald of Rivia, Jerry and Tom versus Happy New Year's Weeaboo Apocalypse, Jerry the Sussy Baka, Jerry's mom has got it going on. Check out the mustache on Jerry Old Rivera. Jerry Bean, yum, Jerry Roxas, yay. Jerry's STI got T-Bone by a 1970 Charger driven by Jerry Toretto. Jerry role-playing game. Judge Jerry and Executioner, Keaton Tails, Kid Marvelous, Defender of the Innocent, Enemy to the Bearded. Yeah, I need all the help I can get. King Tom, Smasher of Jerry Zillas, Kid Skin, Life of Guardian, Little Ed Woods, Lucia Lovecraft, Machia, Seedy, maybe next time Milk Fit, Miss Duchess, not Invisible Angel, Raptor Art, she's my Jerry Pie, go to do what a big surprise, Snary, the Snom Jerry, Spoonie the Rogue, Spoopy, Scary, Jerry Ton, Techno Dubs, the original Jerry, he's not, the X card, but seriously, what is that? To Infinite Jerry and beyond! Yeah, we doing that right now. To the Fish Jerry, Otacon, Unfortunate Jerry, but first, have you heard about these nuts? Tom promise, Jerry Swiss, oh no, bad J, Tom, Beagle Boy, the Swiss, just fact, Swiss has goal, look it up by the race video. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, Unfortunate Jerry, you ever go talk to Candace? No, I'm not gonna do it. Patreon is blowing up, and I have you to thank. Hey, friends, thank you. What a terrible song. We're working on it. I do hope some other people will consider subscribing on the Patreon, but if you can't afford to do it right now, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there, wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe like watching some more ReddX videos. You do still like ReddX videos, don't you? Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one, and until then, bye-bye.